This conference will now be recorded.
Just wait. Hi. Can you go to a new tab? Use developer.salesforce.com, the URL developer.salesforce.com. Don't go to the sign up. Yeah. So basically, this is the place where you will be doing a sign up, and you'll be using Salesforce for the future development. So click on sign up, which is on the right top corner, blue color button. Here, give your details: first name, last name, email ID. Mail ID must be a working mail ID because Salesforce will send a verification email to you. And company can be anything. Your role also can be anything. Choose your country. Username must be in an email format. It must be in the format of your email. Username must be in an email.
So I should use my email ID, correct?
You can use your email or you can say the same name at some company.com kind of. Sign up. I think the mail ID is already there. If I'm not wrong. Yes. Don't give something generic because it is like your Gmail or Facebook only. So if the username is already there in Salesforce, then it won't allow you to save the record. Once done, now you have to go to your Gmail with which the email ID that you have given. From there, you will get a verification mail. You have to set the password from your Gmail. Go to your
Okay.
Gmail.
Yeah, I'm setting now. Okay, so that email I already using. So it is saying that we cannot enroll you in Salesforce Developer Edition account because this email address you entered is already in use. To sign up with a different email address, I think I need to go for the different email address.
Okay.
So I think I cannot use the same username which I used previously, correct?
Yes. I think it is already there.
I don't think so. Someone already using my email address. Even this email has also same issue.
Okay. Can you show me the email once that you're getting?
So here I don't have access here. This is different laptop. So I'll send you the screenshot.
Okay. Okay. Then go to login.salesforce.com.
Okay.
Let's say the same issue that Rajesh is getting. Let's say your email ID is already registered with Salesforce. Then go to login.salesforce.com. Forgot your password at the bottom. Yeah, give that mail username that you have tried to register.
Okay. Just now?
Yeah, but did you register with Salesforce already?
I think so. I think, but not this username. But email ID is already there.
Email ID is fine, but you can register with multiple usernames.
But yeah, I'll show you. I'll send you the screenshot. Give me 1 second. So this is the one I'm getting.
Ideally, you shouldn't get this. Okay, let me share my screen.
Okay. Sorry.
So make sure you are giving a mail ID. Sorry, the username, a unique username which is not there earlier, or you can simply copy paste your same email ID. It will work for sure. Once it is done, Salesforce will send a verification email which Rajesh has shown to us, which will ask you to set your password. Okay, once you are very set the password, then go to login.salesforce.com. From the next time to login, click on enter. I mean, you give your credentials and click on enter. Once done, see it will take you to the Salesforce screen. Now, basically, Rajesh or me, we didn't created an ID in Salesforce. Basically, we have created a org in Salesforce. What is the difference between ID and org? ID is like your Facebook ID. If I create a Facebook ID, what I can do, I can upload my images, or I can share or chat with my friends. I can see the uploads which are done by my friends. But here in Facebook, can I create another user within my user? That is not possible, right? But in Salesforce, we can do it. It is like the moment I register with Salesforce, Salesforce will give me a space where I can create some users within my space also for the practice. Okay, just give me a minute. Now this is done. Now I am a system admin for this org, for this Salesforce org. So what if an end user logs into the system? How does it look? So if an end user logs into the system, by default, Salesforce will allow him to access particular application. It won't take him to the setup screen. So what it'll do is, so in the app launcher, it will basically show him some default application. But now, let's say as I'm a system admin, I'm able to access the setup screen directly. But now I want to navigate to some applications that are there in Salesforce. For that, just go to this 9 dot. This is called as an app launcher. If I click on this, then I can choose any of the applications. Randomly, I'm choosing service application. Okay, the first application which is there. So this is how an application looks like for an end user when he logs in. Okay, some one or the other based on the user profile, we can set some default application, which means the moment he logs in, he will be set to some application which is already there in Salesforce. Okay, now if he wants to navigate from one application to another application, again the same way, he'll go he'll go to app launcher. For example, he'll click on view all. This is the place where he can see the list of applications that are available in Salesforce, and then he can start navigating them. Okay, clear about application? Now in this app launcher, if I click on view all, so this is the place where I can see the list of applications that I can access. This is not the place where I can see the list of applications which are there in the org, because I'm not an admin. Okay, for few minutes I'll show it to you as an end user. Later part I'll will again go back as a developer. Okay, now let us say I'm an end user. I'll be able to see only the list of applications that are provided access to me by my system admin, which means the org can have 100 applications. We can define any number of applications in your Salesforce org based on the license and the contract that you are signed up with Salesforce. But you can again for the end user, he may not need all the applications, right? He'll be able to access only few applications that he can, but which are provided by the system admin, and this is the place. Okay, now what is next? Now, for example, these are called as tabs. Before we go here, just go to one simple Excel sheet. Sorry, I'll repeat the same tomorrow also. I mean, at least this Excel part. First of all, we'll compare the Excel sheet, because Salesforce, as I told you, is the fully loaded power packed Excel sheet kind of. Now, what are these in your Excel? These are multiple sheets. For example, in one of the sheets, I want to store my customer information. In the second sheet, I'll store my employee information. Okay. In the third sheet, I want to store my maybe accounts information. I'm just picking up a random example that I'm going with maybe a banking application. Okay. When I speak about the customer object, or sorry, customer table, what all the info I'll store? Name of my customer, gender, maybe date of birth, right? Few other details like door
Contact ID.
number. Yeah, yeah, perfect. Phone number, email, etc. etc. Right? Now let us say my first customer is Rajesh. We of course male, date of birth, let's say 5th August 1990. phone 12345, email r@z.com. Okay, this is serial number 1. Now Swati came. She said like, okay Ram, even I want to become your customer. I said okay. Name, gender, date of birth, phone number, email. Is this correct? Can I capture Swati's information like this? Similarly, I'll go with employees. I'll start adding my employees and then accounts also. But can I capture the details like this?
Misplacing the information.
Right? The format of the info which is provided for Swati is not correct. And my system or this Excel sheet is not throwing me errors. Right? For that, I have to write some validations and all. Forget about it. Right? Which means if I say name is a column, then I have to give only name. Gender is a column, then I have to give only gender. Date of birth, date of birth. Phone, phone. Email, email. Right? Now, can I consider this Excel sheet as one application? So the moment I open, this Excel sheet allows me to add multiple sheets. And here I can see the employee information. Likewise, I'll go with account information also. Right? But when I'm entering the info of that particular table, it should be a ordered way. Right? It's not like I can enter anything at any point of time. Even if Excel doesn't allow me, I should follow some restrictions. Right? Now, let us compare the same thing with Salesforce and Excel. Or first we'll go with Excel and then Salesforce. Excel, what do we have first? Sheet. Because from the sheet I can able to access the tables. Right? So I'll say sheets. Then within the sheets, an application is nothing but your Excel sheet, the entire Excel name. Inside Excel sheets, what you'll have tables. Inside tables, what you'll have rows and columns, right? I'll give column first, then row. Sorry, I'm typing with my left hand. Okay, am I correct? First, we'll start with the sheet. Within the sheet, you'll have table. Table inside the table, you'll have columns. Each and every under each and every column, you'll have some fields that will get captured as a row. Correct? And every row will have some row number which is dedicated by Excel sheet itself. I'm not speaking about the serial number, I'm speaking about the row number, that is these numbers which you don't have a control, right? You can't control them. Correct? Now let us start going with the technical names of Salesforce. Every sheet of your Excel is called as tabs. These are called as tabs. So if I can go with charter, I can go with accounts, contacts, cases, all these things. Okay. What is a sheet? Sheet is nothing but tabs. So there are some tabs which are automatically defined by Salesforce, and if you are defining any custom tables, you have to define the tab. And what is the technical name for a table in Salesforce? Is object. Okay. And columns are called as fields. Rows are nothing but records, Row number is nothing but record ID. We'll see one by one now. So sheet is nothing but a tab. For example, I'll go with a contact tab. When I click on new button, I can enter new details for my contact. I'll say salutation is Mr. I will name it as Raj. So these are all called as your columns of your Excel sheet. Okay. Excel is a normal sheet, right? It will show you everything in one shot. But here in Salesforce, as you are going with multiple screens, every record will be shown up as a different screen. Okay. Now I'll save. The moment I save, see, I can see the details of the record. So what is a tab? The purpose of the tab helps you to access the data of your object. Helps to access data or records of table basically. But table is not is also known as object now. If anyone has any questions, stop me right away. You don't have to wait till the end of the session. Okay. Now, let us say someone said, Ram, I don't need other phone. I want to define it as maybe mobile number 2. What should I do? I should go to the back end of the system. I should define it. That is where we'll see objects. Okay, even the fields also. Then rows are nothing but records in the system. If you see here, these are the different records that I already have in the system. And what is a record ID? The moment I hit this record, any of the records for that matter, on the top, if you see, there is an ID generated. For example, I'll copy this, go to some other tab, after force.com, I'll give this, I'll paste it here, enter. It will directly navigate me to that particular record. Because here in your Excel sheet, your row number is unique. Similarly, my record ID in this in for every record given by Salesforce is also unique. Whatever might be the tab that I'm looking on, if I update paste the record ID over that on the URL, it will be taking me directly to that particular record. Is this comparison clear? If you're able to understand this, then Salesforce structure will be much more easier actually. Any questions, anyone? Okay, I'll take it as no. Now you understood how to what is an app, what is an application, what is an object, what is a tab, what is a record. Now, basically, what is an application? Application is nothing but, in a simple words, I would say application is nothing but a mixture of data with a well-defined process, or maturing your request in a well-defined process. Uh, a very known or simple example is, let us say, uh, I want maybe I want to open a bank account. So, for example, recently as most of you are IT people, so whenever you are joining any IT organization, so to get your salary, you have to give your bank account to them. So in India, like if you are going with bigger organizations, so what will happen is in my organization earlier we used to have a canteen which has a capacity of 5,000 members in one single hall. So we use it only for lunch and morning or evening snacks or morning breakfast sessions. But after 3 o'clock, what used to happen is uh, all the bankers in my city will come and sit over there, especially all your private bankers like your Citibank, HDFC, Kotak, Yes Bank, etc. etc. All of them will sit in a queue and they'll have a boards on the top saying that my bank will give 6% interest, one bank will give 7%, one person says that I'll give you a free credit card, etc. etc. Now let us say Raj is the person who joined in this organization, or let's say he is my colleague now. He joined today itself. So he don't have a bank account or he wanted to open a new bank account. So the moment he goes over there, like you'll see all the bankers. Now he thought like okay, some XYZ bank, maybe a Citibank for example. Said like okay, Citibank is giving me a good offers on the credit card. They are having a better offers on the credit card. He thought of going with Citibank. Now what happened? Let us say Ram is a person who is working in the Citibank. You say okay, welcome Raj, and I'll take some documentations from Raj, maybe his ID card, or his registered mobile number, maybe his personal identity like PAN or Aadhaar, which is there in India as standard. I'll take his details and I'll give him an account book. I'll say that okay, you can use this account. And will the account be opened immediately? No, they'll say I need some time. He'll say that okay, you can use this account. This will be activated for sure because this is the unique ID that is giving to you. But this account might get activated in 1 or 2 days. By then you can give this to your HR in your office. The moment they are creating your salary, this account will be activated and it will be done. Why 2 days? Because he has to verify whether Raj is a part of this organization or not, right? Whether the Aadhaar card or maybe the personal identity numbers given by Raj is correct or not. For this verification, they might need 1 day. This is one process that they are following, right? And for example, let us say after 2 days it got activated, and on fourth day or fifth day he got or 30 last month end he got the salary, but the amount is not credited to his account. I'm taking a real example which happened to me. I have opened an account in XYZ Bank. My month end salary, I mean in my pay slip I can see what how much salary I got, but that number is not visible in my account. When I went back and asked HR, she said like Ram, your account is not activated properly, somehow we are not able to credit the salary. What should I do? I'll go to the banker because he is the only person who is coming to my office every day to open the accounts. I'll open to that banker, banking manager or whosoever. I have asked him. He said, okay. He didn't help me at all. He said, like, okay, Ram, I'm the person who will collect your details, give it to the bank. But now I'm not the person who can help you out. He said, like, he gave me some number to call someone else who is sitting in the bank who is looking at this particular section. Okay, when I called her, that lady helped me. She sorted my issue. She said like, okay, it will be resolved in 4 5 hours, and it got resolved. Why the person who opened my account didn't help me? Why? Because it is not like he don't want to help me. That is not his job. The job that is assigned to him in the bank is to collect the details, which means every job has a specific role and they have a well-defined process at the back end. As I'm a new customer, maybe that minute I felt a little bad when that guy said like, okay Ram, I can't help you on this, but he gave me a right contact, right? So it's not like any data can be modified or corrected or misplaced by anyone in the organization. You have a well-defined process, right? Similarly, an application is nothing but a collection of data with a well-defined process to mature the required that you have created in the organization. Okay, so that is where when I go with an application, let's say service, this is a collection of multiple tabs which where it allows the user to enter the data and to process them according to the end user's requirement. Clear? Now, so now you have seen an application. What is a tab? What is an object? Record IDs, fields, everything. Now, let us say someone said, "Hey, Ram, I know there is some company called United in my organization, but I forgot where that record is." So I'll go to this search bar. This search bar is called as global search. Why global search? If I type some keyword and click on enter button, it will search for that particular keyword or the search word that I have typed over there throughout my Salesforce organization, which means I might have multiple objects in the company, right? Or multiple tables. It will search for all the possible tables that I have access in the organization, and it will show you the results. If you see here, I can see some lot of results, right? Now you're like, okay, oil and gas UK is my account that I'm working on. I have opened it, so I have seen the details. I started working on. I'll go to the details later also. So I started working on this record. Now tomorrow I'm going on some vacation. Maybe after I might come back after 2 weeks. Post that also I might have to work on this. But yes, of course I'm going for the vacation, so I may not remember the same name. So what I can do is I can click on the star symbol. This will make my record as favorites. So now later whenever I open whatever might be the tab that I'm on, I'll click on this favorite list. I can see my favorite records and click on that. It will directly take me to that particular account. I think it is UK, right? Okay. I think you can set up to 10 favorites if I'm not wrong. And let's say if you are done with this, if you don't want, you can edit them and remove whatever you want. My job is done. I'll remove, because there will be a limit here around 10,000 10 records or something. Okay, any questions, anyone? Now let us say I want to create a contact record. If I click on new button, actually I just gave mandatory field, but the moment I'm showing this to my end user, as there are a lot of fields, he'll feel that okay, let me capture each and everything. Okay, but he is an agent. He has or he don't have much time to enter all the fields. So we'll just go with generally I'll go with mandatory field and save. But first name is not or last name is not sufficient, right? I need to capture some key fields, maybe the mobile number and all. So instead of opening this entire feature, what we can do is we can define some actions. We call it as global actions. If you click on this plus symbol, see if I click on new contact, these are pretty much basic fields that I need to create a contact. That is email ID and phone number are required. So it will show you a simple window where it will allow you to create the records using your simple basic fields. Okay. So instead of filling all the fields, because now let's say if I'm on any other application which doesn't have contact tab, then I have to go first navigate to that particular application, create the record. But here it is very simple. Click on the plus symbol, click the object that you want, hit the new contact request that you want and create the details. That is irrespective of application. And as it is defined globally on the top, this is called as global actions. Okay, and if you want to have a learning model which is given by Salesforce, which will start somewhere around 2000 or $3,000, you can go to that guidance center and you can start learning on it. And this is something called advanced inspector, which is released by Salesforce in very recent releases, which will show you the health of your org. When you logged in, how many people are active, what all the management user interface enhancement issues that you enhancements that you can do, how many objects you have created, and how to configure your org, all those things. Okay, this is some advanced inspector. I'll discuss a little briefly later. Today I'm just showing you what is what. Okay. Next thing is question mark. Like if you need any help, for example, let us say I have created an object. some I made everything available, but my end user says, Ram, I'm not able to see the contact tab. I can't create any records over here. As far as my knowledge, everything is working properly. Okay, but this person is not able to see. Obviously, I need to get a support from Salesforce. Okay, because the same permission, same details has been given to every other user also. Everyone is able to access apart from this user. So then I approach Salesforce. To approach Salesforce, you have to go with help and training. This is the place where you can see go to get support, and these are the different lists that you have. So you can type your question. If there is any existing answers, you will get it, or you can raise a ticket to Salesforce from this. So don't raise any ticket from your end because you are using the free versions. You won't get any help from Salesforce. Only if you are a paid license user, then only Salesforce will help you. Okay. Then the next one is setup screen. So if I click on setup, so this is the screen that generally an admin or a developer will work. This is the place where we can define the features or in your organization. Features in a sense, it might be an object, or it might be a application, or it might be a field. Anything you have to come over here. Even if you want to define a org in the system. Okay. I mean, sorry, even if you want to define any user in the system, not all. Similarly, like we do have one more called service setup. So when you are using a service cloud application, we'll go with service cloud service setup. So this is where it will be showing you only few things, like for example, omni channel. That's one of the best things that you'll discuss. So there are certain features which are directly tagged with service cloud. So only those features will be enabled over here. Post that, you have something called developer console. What is a developer console? Developer console, someone will call it as a tool for development, or I call it as a IDE or an editor. So the default editor which is given by Salesforce to define your development logics is nothing but developer console. So this is the place where I can create my own Apex classes which we discussed yesterday, or I can write my queries. I can see what all the changes that my user did, like using logs. I can run my test classes. I can see the view state, which is nothing but a cache memory of a page. I can see if there is any issues on my components. All these things can be figured out easily over here. So I'll just have to go to File, new button, click on that feature to open create that feature, or click on O, open that feature to see what all the details that I have. Yeah. So when the time comes, we'll discuss much more deeper into that. And bell icon, everyone is aware of this bell icon. It is for notifications. So if you are getting any notification, those notifications will come over here. We'll see these things also. And then the teddy bear symbol, where basically you can pick your avatar, which means your photo, upload. Now if I go to my settings, will show my personal information. If I want to modify my personal information, all these things can be visible over here. I can modify them. So this can be done even by an end user also. And there are certain other features, like it will show you advanced user details. When I go with my advanced user details, it will show my actual user details, like what is my role in the organization, what is the profile that I have activated, what are the features that I can edit, all those things. And then these are something which is upcoming features, like upcoming feature that I'm gonna discuss. Who can approve my records if I'm not there in the organization? How do I change my passwords? Or how to provide access to my system admin without giving my credentials to him? All these features will be there as well. Okay. Any questions till now? Anyone? Okay. So let's say I'll go with my account record. If I just go with oil and gas UK, so it's showing me a lot of things. right? This is called as a record page. On the record page, I can see the details of the record, and I can see the list of records which are related to this particular record. Under this account, you can have you have one contact, but if you want to add multiple contacts, we can add them. If I go to the details section, I can see the details of this record. Likewise, for example, if I go to the related and click on this contact, the screen will be a little different over there. There it says cases are there, and it says details separately. But if I open the case, again the entire UI is completely different, which means for every request or for every object you can define multiple UIs. And if you see here, there are some hyperlinks set up. So when I click on this account name, it is directly navigating me to the account record, which means there is a well defined relationship which is set up between your accounts, contacts, cases. Likewise, we'll see even other standard objects also in future. But what are we gonna do now? So I mean, are we keen here to just see how the standard things? No, right? So first of all, we need to see how these things are related. So instead of going with existing features to see how these fields or objects are related, what we are going to do from tomorrow is we will define an application on our own in a simple Excel sheet with a basic schema. We'll say, for example, I took a banking example. So I'll define a simple banking example. With we'll see what all the tables we might need in that banking example. Let's say it needs customers information, it needs accounts that are handled that are opened by this customers information. They'll do some transactions, they might need some loans. If they are taking loans, then they might have to pay the interest, all these things. And then once this basic schema is done in your Excel sheet, we'll come to Salesforce. We'll see how do we define those application, how do we define those many tables, and how do we add each and every field related to that table. If I say customer table is not sufficient, right? I have to add multiple details like his address, phone number, email ID, gender, date of birth, etc., etc. And if I say about account, then I have to enter a lot of information like whether it is a savings account or a current account or a demat account. And then if it is a savings account, how to see the balance, how many transactions are coming under that account, all these things, right? And let's say if someone did a transaction of $1,000 in one of his accounts, which they credited from to his account, then I should see the account balance is 1,000. Tomorrow if he debited 200, then the account balance will become 800. And other day if he credited 500 more, then the account balance should automatically increase to 1,300. So all these things should be automated by us. Like we'll see how do we automate those things as well in future. Okay. Likewise, I'm not saying that we'll go with only banking application. You can pick up any random application that you want. So that we'll define an exit tomorrow, and then we'll start building that in one of your orgs. So make sure you're creating orgs by tomorrow. Come up with org at least everyone. I'm not sure whom which name I'll pick, so that we can start it up. Is this clear? Because to start the features, generally any other technologies or any other people, what they'll do is first they'll explain you the feature and then they'll show you the example. Instead, we'll go in a reverse way. We'll see what is the requirement, and because I'll go in a right order where you need the basics. So whatever the examples that I'm picking up, I'll pick up the right example which needs which I need to define your right what do you call right which needs or which helps me to discuss the right topic on that day. I'll pick that requirement itself. I'll keep it in front of you, allow you to think for a moment, and then we'll come back to Salesforce, define that feature. Okay, order won't be changed, but we'll go with an application way so that for me what I believe, or the success mantra that I have seen in when I'm training these 2000 or 3000 people is if I'm giving you a right example before I'm starting the concept, you'll remember easily, because I don't want to mug up anything. So let us go with a specific format so that it will be easy. Or if you feel like, okay, Ram, we need the features first and then we'll discuss about the examples later, I'm okay with that also. Okay. And please do let me know if I'm going fast, or do let me know if I'm going very slow, because in the initial sessions, maybe at least 3 to 4 sessions, worst case, I'll go slowly, because all of you are new to this technology. That's the reason you came here to learn. So I should make you to be a bit comfortable. Next week we'll go fast. Okay.